Any questions? Yes, Jim?
Where do you draw the boundary between drunkenness, tipsy and not drunk, or tipsy at all?
Tipsy, I think, is when you're in serious danger.
So,
Because when you're tipsy, your level of inhibition is way down. Just so you know, most unplanned pregnancies happen under the influence of alcohol. Yeah? Maybe awkward, but you guys need to know this. Okay? I've heard of too many young women who, for whatever reason, had their first encounter with alcohol and found themselves in bed without really meaning to. Be aware of that. So, but the problem is tipsy is when you go, I'm okay, I feel great, I'm having a lot of fun, and I'll have another drink. And when you go beyond that stage, that's when your judgment's seriously impaired, and that's where I think you're drunk. The difference between tipsy and drunk is very, very, very small. About 2 drinks, I think.
so then how would you know that you are tipsy?
Oh, well, you can feel it.
As in, you might say, oh, it's just, I have very good alcohol intake. I'm not drunk or tipsy. You know.
Well, you need to also be aware of the fact that we're very deceiving. Virtually no one's going to go, you know what, I think I've got a problem, unless it's been pushed. Alcohol is a very rough master. And so I think you need to set actual limits. I think if you're someone who's never had alcohol before, you hit 18 and you go and have a drink, I think you start having 1 drink. And that's it. And if you've had a couple of drinks a few times, you might say, I'm going to have 2 drinks, and that's it. And then you're 25 and you've had 2 drinks plenty of times, you might say 3 drinks is my limit. More than 2 drinks, alcoholic drinks, too often is bad for your liver anyway. But I think you actually need to sit down and think about it and say, I'm not going to have more than this many drinks. And you think about, wow, 3 drinks over like a 5-hour session because you're at a party or something. Yeah. That's just being wise. I can't make a decision for you. And you know, when you're someone who's got, you know, a large body mass, if you're Tuscan or Nick, because you're 6 foot, you know, or whatever, you're going to be able to consume a little bit more, not massive amounts more, because you've got more blood, more body fat, etc. Right? It's supposed to be. And if you are of slight build and female, that amount is lower.
Yeah, just stick to the recommendations.
Yeah, sorry guys.
Yeah, stick to the recommendations, but be aware that the recommendations will get you drunk the first time you go.
Yeah,
The first time you have alcohol, those recommendations will get you drunk. So don't. Sorry, Sarah, you can ask a question?
Oh no, I was just going to say, because when you're saying like different people and stuff, it's actually, alcohol's fat soluble. So the more body fat you have, the quicker you get drunk. It's actually one of the reasons why women get drunk on less than men. Because
they're more fat body
you
mass.
do.
You've got other
You do.
fat in place that blokes don't have.
Yeah, it's like I was
Yes.
Shut up, I worked it out.
Question.
I have a lot of friends who get drunk like all the time when they get parties.
And I guess the question I've got for you is: you look at the way that they act. Would you like someone to have a video camera on you and then put that on YouTube tomorrow? Look, and seriously, I don't know anyone who would. You go to your mates. I mean, some of them are just so stupid that they will go, "Oh, it was funny. Did you have a lot of fun that night?" Really? Really? Do you think you had a lot of fun?
If Yeah, but they also like take drugs as well, so it's like.
Yeah, that's a whole other issue. Yeah.
Do you know what the standard drinks are for guys and girls in the second from the shop?
Guys,
No, standard drink's a standard drink, right?
Oh.
But
You know, any recommendation for standard drinks for
Standard
guys?
drinks, you can just get
2 drinks for a guy,
Okay.
1 drink for a girl.
Is that for under the...
How
um,
six? No, guys are literally the first hour and then
Stop, everyone's talking at once. What were you going to say with this?
I'm just saying guys are touring only the first hour.
Mm.
Yeah, in the first hour, and it's 1 every hour after that, yeah.
Just out of curiosity.
If you mix this and that.
Something like alcohol with rough.
Master.
Master, yeah. What would you say is like the hardest addiction you wrote?
Depends who you are.
Different people have different things. So some people can drop heroin like that. I watched my mum and dad quit smoking a dozen times. Alcohol is particularly harsh because it has a lot of physiological effects
Mm.
and a lot of mind-altering effects. And I haven't watched people who are addicted to heroin or ice or the other stuff. You know, I haven't watched them go through it. Anything that's addictive is hard. The problem with an addictive substance or behaviour is that it changes the rest of your behaviour. It's not like you can go to the pub and get trashed and then come home and be normal. You come home and you're drunk still, and then the next day you're hungover, and so you're sober for about 5 or 6 hours before you go out and start drinking again. And so what that does is it actually isolates you from the people who want to help you if you've got a problem. So that, and alcohol, why does it isolate you? Because you go home and you're rough on your family, or you sort of push them away because you think you're having a good time. And so the problem with alcohol and other drugs is that they actually encourage you to isolate yourself from the people who will actually help you. Whereas, if you smoke, for example, like you'll be a bear with a sore head, a caffeine, if you drink a lot of coffee. Exactly. You don't have to smoke your coffee, then you're going to be rough to be around, but you can actually rationalise that.
Okay.
But drinking coffee or having a cigarette won't cause you to be out of control in your behaviour. So my advice is don't get addicted to anything.
No, I was just curious.
Computer games. No, I'm not picking. Computer games are like poker machines. Dude, I've spoken to some people. I've seen much worse than the examples given in this room. I've seen much worse. But gaming of any sort, gambling, those are pretty hard because your brain switches into it. I mean, same as an alcohol addiction.
Mm.
Sarah?
It's a couple of things, but one of my older brothers, he actually got hooked for this particular problem. But when he was younger, he was one of those kids, he'd save up all like his pocket money and stuff, and there was a little corner shop thing up on the end of the street, and it had games. I think they were just like Space Invaders and those types of things. And he just used to, and he'd just go up there and he'd save all his money up, and he just every weekend, and he actually ended up with issues with like gambling and things like that. And so he's under sort of.
It's ADHD type behaviour.
Well, I don't think he actually has ADHD.
No, I'm saying
But
that's sort of,
yeah, like it does depend as well, because like some people, my younger brother, he has a very addictive personality, so he'd be someone to watch when he's older, because once he gets attached to something, it's just like that's all he thinks about until that phase is over.
I've watched that in people.
Yeah, and so that's how I guess the smaller things lead to the other things.